for most of you, where you are in the world. So you've seen most of us over the last couple of months with various information sessions and emails from us. This is going to be a really useful pre-departure webinar. So it'll have information about your arrival into the UK, what to expect with your visas. So you might recognize Ruby on the call. She'll give you some very important information relating to the e-visa, and we'll give you some important starting information, such as information about our welcome day on the 27th, which you should all be aware of. So as I think you know, my name's Greg. I'm from the International Department. I'm joined by other colleagues on the call. So Farhana, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, I'm Farhana and I look after the recruitment to the teacher training route. So we may have been in contact in previous webinars.
Great. Ruby?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ruby, the International Student Advisor. Welcome, everyone. I hope to see you very soon.
Great. And Sukhjinder?
Hello, everyone. Sukhjinder here, Head of International Recruitment. I work with Greg and Sonal and other colleagues. Looking forward to welcoming you here.
Great, thanks. And you will also see two other colleagues, Sonal and Gwen. They might not interact with you on the call, but they'll be checking the questions that you put in the function as well. So if you get a response from Sonal or Gwen, they're also part of the St. Mary's team. Okay, so you'll get information today about your course, travel, visas, your arrival, and the induction session. So to start off with, I'll hand over to Farhana, who will give you some information from the faculty side. Okay, thanks, Farhana.
Thanks, Greg. So the slides hopefully are up now on your screen. So just a recap of your timeline after you've received your offers. Some of you are well on your way to doing your next steps in terms of visas and so on. So my colleagues will talk about that in just a moment. But as a reminder, it is a mandatory attendance on Wednesday, the 27th of August. So that's your first official day as an international PGCE primary or secondary student, regardless of what course you're doing. So some of you are scientists, some of you are modern world languages or primary, which is exciting, but you're starting on 27th of August, and you will see further details about that in terms of where to go onto campus. It's a lovely small campus. You'll see everyone all together, and so you won't get lost, and everyone's friendly and can get you where you need to be. Just a note that Monday before is a bank holiday, so it's quite busy. Or in airports here, a lot of people flying in and out. So, and the university will be closed, as of course the banks and any corporations. So we won't be able to assist you if you are, let's say, lost in terms of your travel or anything. You've got questions. Absolutely, we can help you before and after that. But just note that Monday is a bank holiday. We then start your lectures the same day, but we also have formal lectures in terms of your schedules for, let's say, it's modern for languages, German, French, Spanish, if you've got your sciences there, Monday, 1st September. So you have plenty of time to settle into your accommodations, to get used to the university and travel here as well. Now, hopefully you already have your accommodation sorted, but please do let us know if you have any questions regarding that, but we won't be able to help you today on that. But importantly, you've got to know you've got to be living in the London area. And that's because you have your placements starting from 8 AM to 5:30 PM. Your placements we will sort out for you, but unless you've lived in London before and you know local schools, which is unlikely. So our partnership team, which are wonderful, which will be in the same building, they will find school placements for you. So to cover both key stages in the secondary or primary phases. We will need your home postcode, or what we call zip code here. And so you need to sort out your accommodation and confirm that with us. So the partnership team will be sending out a link if they have not already done so, and there you'll need to confirm your accommodation. So I appreciate some of you might still be confirming it in the next few days or even weeks, but ensure it's done before you arrive so that when you're settled in, we know what schools to find for you, so your commuting distance is confirmed, and of course your placements, your training, what you're here for. Your lectures are between 3 to 5 days per week on campus, and we've got certain blocks in the year where you're doing certain things, and you'll likely have already received this PDF, but if not, we're sending it out again next Monday. And attendance is mandatory. So it's going to be an intense year. You need to look after yourself. And of course, do let us know if any issues arise with your personal tutor so we can support you in that. As mentioned before, those who attended a course talk before, we have presentations, coursework, group work, and master's modules. So those are your types of assignments whilst you are on the course. I'm just going to enlarge my screen just a bit so you can see that better. So on the right there is our secondary placement calendar, and it's blocked into various colours to differentiate what you're doing at each stage. So screenshot this now if you can, but you'll certainly receive a PDF of this and a closer look. Timings, exact timings will be confirmed, but you know your placements are 8 AM to 5:30 and lectures generally are from 9 AM to 4 PM. But you'll see that in the brighter sort of purplish pink at the top there, university-based studies. So you have your lectures, and this is for all types of PGCE students, school direct or core, what we call you. And you'll see that in a sort of lighter shade of purple, almost lilac, school-based foundation experience. So that's where you are at school. Yet in the middle on the Wednesday, it says St. Mary's all the way through up until February. So you come in again to university 1 day a week from Wednesdays from the 29th of September. So hopefully you can see that the weeks there on the left and the dates there for you. We have in oranges certain things that you're doing, what we call ITAP, intensive training and practice. And so we confirm what you're doing in those weeks. So every day you'll be doing something, whether you are at the school, teaching children, getting trained, being assessed, or whether you are at university, learning with your lecturers, sharing experiences with your peers, being a student yourself here on campus. You of course get half terms, which we call reading weeks, breaks in the year that you can rest, catch up on any work, house admin, whatever it is that you need to do to look after yourself, you get those breaks. And of course, you get Christmas break as well, Easter and bank holidays too. So that's all listed there for you. So you know what you're doing in the whole year in terms of blocks in months. So there's lots of time spent doing something, but do look after your support. And we have, as part of our induction period for international students, the wellbeing team coming to talk to you and how you can get that support yourself as a student. Now, many of you have already been active on the pre-registration site or pre-reg site, which is fantastic. Please do continue to do that if needed. So if you've completed all your tasks, absolutely fine. But if you want to dip in and out and go, oh, I can't quite remember what I studied that, I'm going to pass that area of the pre-reg site, but let me just go back in and revise there. So please do continue to do that to continue to engage with this. Now, just as a note, the admissions teams are fantastic and they'll certainly answer your questions as soon as possible. But tomorrow, particularly this week, we have undergraduate results days. So they're getting their high school certificates, their A-levels, and they're hoping to get their places confirmed for their bachelor degrees here at St. Mary's. So it's hundreds, if not thousands of students contacting the university. Now, we endeavour to answer your emails 3 to 5 working days on an average week. But this is not an average week. So if you are contacting us in the next couple of days, we do apologise in advance for any delays in communications. I know Greg and I are going to be there very early tomorrow morning to support our hotlines for the phone calls coming in for the students applying to university. But these emails are your main contact. It's PGCE Primary, PGCE Secondary, and of course the admissions team whom you already have been in contact with for offer conditions and sharing documents, because they're the ones who are the experts in reviewing those documents and helping you understand what your next steps are, if there is anything, and or if you're completely done and ready to start. I will look through the messages with, say, texts. If there's anything particularly for me. So yes, 27th of August is your first day. Anything else? It is mandatory for you to attend on that day. So if your travel is arriving on that day, it's going to be hard unless you're traveling in at 2 o'clock in the morning and settled in. You can come to campus in time for 8:30, for a 9 o'clock start. So if and of course there's travel delays. We've traveled through Heathrow many times. It is chaos on the best of days. So I'd advise if you can change your flights, please do so. If it is a 2 o'clock flight, then can you do it with 10 cups of coffee? Okay, but you're risking it there. So if you are a couple minutes late, it's not the end of the world, but if you are missing the day, it does impact your visa, it does impact your attendance. So do try to be there on time for the first day. And any deferrals in terms of if this is the year not for you, you know, things have come up, which is absolutely fine. Talk to our admissions team and we can hopefully get you deferred for next year. Or if we can't defer, if it's an issue with anything that admissions deem to be an issue, our applications are reopen in October. So if you've passed an interview this year, it's unlikely that you would fail again or fail next year. We will support you in that process and we'll have webinars again starting in September like I did this year. So do let us know if you have any questions regarding that. All right. Modules general specific. Yes, on the pre-reg site, sometimes there are general items. So there are things like touching base and studying the UK, that sort of thing. Sometimes the science and English does appear together, and that's just a Moodle issue. So if it's showing that, oh, you're a science student, you've not completed English modules, so you're 90% done with the module, then just ignore that. We know that you're not going to complete the English modules because you're not an English PGCE student. You're a science, modern for languages student, or I don't think there's any primary students here today, but there are a couple coming with us. So anything else, because I need to log off, but you all have my emails. Apologies for the delay if there are delays in my response this next week for clearing, but we hope to see you very soon.
Okay, thanks for that, Farhana. So like Farhana said, you've got the faculty contact email, so anything related to your course specifically and that side of it, Farhana can certainly support with. So we'll go into a different part of the presentation now. I can see some of the questions coming in which may be answered in the next part of the presentation. So we will come back to the questions that are in the chat. Let me just share my screen with you now. Okay, can someone from St Mary's just confirm they can see the presentation?
Yes.
Yep, great. Okay, so this will have some practical information, lots of useful information, and lots of important information here. So we'll talk about the logistic side of travel and arrival, important visa points, particularly around your e-visa, getting settled. So once you're here, some things you can consider, but of course, a lot of that we'll cover on the welcome day. So we'll talk about those events and orientation. We'll give you some key contacts, which I think you have already, and then look into any questions that you might have also. So the practical side of the travel and your arrival. So three very important things, which may seem obvious, but we do need to reiterate this. There's always some students that seem to arrive somehow without having this. So make sure you've got your visa if you need it, which I think most of you do on this call. We have had some cases of students from some countries being able to come on different visas, and they've had to go back and restart. So make sure that you're coming on the correct visa, your student route visa, which you would have had lots of contact with the admissions team around your CAS and all of that. So that shouldn't come as a surprise to any of you. I know that some of you have visa questions, which Ruby may answer and we can refer to later in the call as well. Very importantly, make sure you have a confirmed place to live. So don't arrive at the university without a confirmed place to live. That's very, very important. We do have some emergency type provision on the campus, but again, you need to let us know ahead of time if you are having issues. So in the key contacts, you'll see the accommodation team, just quite simply accommodation@stmarys.ac.uk. Contact them immediately if you don't have anywhere confirmed. And as we've been saying, Wednesday, the 27th of August, I'm sure you have heard this many, many times. This will be engraved in your brain, is the day to be here. So make sure you arrive before this date. And remember what Farhana said, that the Monday of that week is a public holiday. So that may affect services that are running. It may affect flight prices, for example. So just be aware of that. So some things that you can think about ahead of time. There'll be some information on the St Mary's websites to help with your arrival. Some practical things. Make sure you know how you can get access to money when you're here. So in some cases, many cases, you won't be able to open a bank account straight away, directly, when you're in the UK. So make sure that if you've got credit cards or debit cards, that they can work in the UK, or that you have a prepaid travel card, or that you have some cash. But of course, we don't recommend traveling with a large amount of cash. But make sure that you've worked out how to access funds, particularly for the first part here before you can open a bank account. If you are taking any medication, make sure that you've considered how you can get the prescriptions, how you can get the medical scripts for this. So what we often recommend is speaking to your doctor before you travel to make sure that you have enough medication to cover your initial arrival. You will also get information about the healthcare system when you're here. So the UK does have a good healthcare system, which as students you are entitled to use. But again, just to cover you for the first part of your time here, we advise you to see your doctors in good time before you leave your home country, have any healthcare appointments before you leave, so that you have that medication sorted. As I mentioned, make sure you have your accommodation confirmed. And again, just to help you logistically, when you first arrive, probably you're going to be arriving at Heathrow Airport, which is not too far from the university, but make sure you know how to get from the airport to your accommodation. It's unlikely, unless you have a flight landing very early morning on Wednesday the 27th, that you'll be coming direct to the university. So, or unless you have secured accommodation. So make sure that you've planned how to get from the airport to your accommodation. Of course, there's internet connections and Wi-Fi at the airport, varying types, but it's always a good idea to make sure you check that beforehand, so that you know how to travel in case you have any connection issues. And the last point here, I think it's very unlikely that any countries still have COVID, coronavirus testing protocols. We don't have any in the UK at the moment, so there's no need for proof of vaccination or things like that. But again, check with your home country. But I think for the vast majority of places now, there are no protocols there. So when you enter the UK, and think about these travel arrangements from the airport. We can give you advice through the international team. Some very good advice, which I always do whenever I travel, is take paper printouts of important documents. It's much better than having it on your phone. We know that you've all got emails and PDFs and forms electronically on your phone or on your laptop. But just so there's no connection issues, no technical issues, we strongly recommend that you print off copies of your offer letter, visa supporting documents, accommodation confirmation, and carry them in your hand luggage, so that when you are at the border, when you're first coming in, if you need to show this, you've got it there ready. Ruby will speak to you more about the visa aspects of it. But always think about keeping boarding passes and checking if you need entry stamps as well. When you're at the university, we'll need to check your ID. Again, Ruby will tell you more about this. And there's lots of immigration advice on the UKISA website, ukcisa.org.uk. This is not associated with the university itself. It's good general advice on what to expect for immigration. We know that when you first arrive at the airport, sometimes it's not always the most welcoming when you first go through immigration. It's just part and parcel of entering a new country, but that will give you advice on what to expect. And if you want to know exactly where the campus is, then check the directions pages on the website, just so you've got an idea of where we are in relation to either where you're living or the airport. Okay, so I will stop sharing my screen now, and I'll hand over to Ruby, who will talk to you about visas and the enrollment side of your arrival.
Hello, everyone. So hopefully you can hear me. My apologies if I'm lagging a little bit. Seems like the internet is a bit slow today. So yeah, hopefully most of you have received your visa now. I know there's a lot of anxiety waiting for the visa. Please be assured that this is the peak application period. So the Home Office caseworker, they're dealing with lots of applications. So they say 3 weeks of processing time, but it's usually a bit longer than that if you haven't used a priority service or super priority service. So in that case, and if you know that you're probably not going to make it on the 27th of August, just message international admissions, email them, let them know, and they will escalate that to the School of Education, and they will work out an appropriate time for you to arrive, which is ASAP, if you're going to miss it. Because if you don't have your student visa, you can't travel because you don't have a visa yet. So I understand that, and you're not alone in this. This happened almost every year because it's the time. So quickly on e-visa linking. So hopefully soon you will receive your visa, and you will receive an email from the Home Office saying that your visa has been granted successfully, and this is the conditions of your visa, this is the length of your visa, but you'll need to create an UKVI account and link your visa to it. So your status, immigration status, will be a digital immigration status called e-visa. So there will be no more BRP card for everybody this intake, and you'll be able to access and prove your immigration status purely online. So first of all, just check your email, and if your agent submitted the application for you, check with your agent for that UKVI decision email. Check your spam, keep an eye on it. And if you're really anxious about it, you can try contacting the Home Office Help Center. So what you do is you just Googled contact Home Office, and the first thing that pop out would direct you on how to contact the Home Office. It's basically a help center that you can call at a charge. They won't be able to give you any sort of specific update on your case. So I suppose it's not that really helpful, but at least it will tell you, okay, I don't see any abnormal things going on. It's just the caseworker still looking at your application. So in that UKVI decision email contains a link to access your e-visa. So what you do is just click on the link and click Start Now. Now I'm going through the questions that it will take you to. So please select that you are granted permission to come or stay in the UK on or after the 1st of November 2024. That applies to all of you. Second question, do you have a visa or application number? Yes, you do. That UAN reference or GWF reference is on the top of the UKVI decision email and in all of the communications that you receive from the Home Office. And you have to have a valid passport. And then the page will lead you to create an account, because it checked that you have it verified that you checked all the boxes. So you're creating the account for yourself, type in your name that is shown on your travel document, and select your nationality. And also you will be using your passport because you don't have a BRP anymore. So you will be using your passport to create this UKVI account. And simply just enter your passport details, enter your date of birth, and then use your personal email to sign in to the account, not any company emails or even university emails, because you'll lose access to those when you graduate. And preferably you use a UK phone number to register this account. But if you don't have that yet, I understand, just use the correct country code for your local phone number. And you can choose to have other people access your accounts, but also you can just keep it to yourself. And check your answers before you proceed. And then you'll be able to see that an account is successfully created. So just click the sign in button and it will ask you your passport details, your phone number, and then you'll get a one-time code to verify yourself. And then now you have an account. What we do is to link your visa to this account. So when you travel to the UK, the border officer can just have your passport information in front of him and type in that information. They would be able to see your visa correlated with that travel document. So simply just start linking your e-visa to your account. And the e-visa process contains 3 sections. Each section have a few questions, altogether 6 questions. It's really straightforward. So I will be mainly talking you through about confirming your identity, because this is usually the most complex bit. So what you will need to do is, if you are creating your account on a laptop, which I advise you to, now you will need your phone to download an app called UK Immigration ID Check. It has this purple logo with a crown and the passport a chip on it. So make sure that you download the right app. And now here's the trick, which is not all phones can run this app. It requires an updated model. So if your phone cannot make contactless payments or just simply cannot run the app, check with your friends, check with your family, because you don't have to do it on your phone. You can borrow other people's phones for this process. And then once you downloaded the app, you'll need to pair yourself with pair your e-visa application on the laptop with the process on the phone. So you could either do that by typing the connection code that's on your phone back to your computer screen, or you simply scan the QR code with your phone, and that will complete the pairing process. So once the app knows that you are you can start using your phone for the rest of the ID check. So what it will ask you to do is to sign into your account. So you get that one-time code on your email or phone. You type in your date of birth and your travel document number, and then you'll be required to take photos of your passport. So that just the personal first page of your passport that has your name, the dates, for example, and just make sure that it's taken in a good condition, because you won't be able to pass to the next stage unless you take a satisfactory photo of it. And you can review and confirm the details captured by the app. So the app will most likely capture the correct information, for example, your name, date of birth, but still double check that. And then scan your facial image by aligning your face with the oval shape on the screen. And just hold still when the scan is processing. It can take a few seconds. It will flash RGB colors. It looks cartoony, but that means it's working. And the final step is just take a photo of yourself against the plain background. It could just be like a white wall, and that will be used as your e-visa avatar. And once that's uploaded, it can't be changed. So you can either take a selfie or ask someone to take that photo for you and make sure that you're happy with that, because you won't be able to change it retrospectively. And yeah, so that's the first step done, and it's almost like 50% of the work done, because the rest of the questions are really simple. It simply asks your location, tick if you're overseas or inside the UK, your contact preferences, whether it's by phone or by email. And the second section asks you to choose 3 security questions. This is so that you don't lose your accounts. So simply select the questions that you think you'll have them, the answer to most naturally, and keep that answer somewhere safe, so you don't lose that answer to the security questions. And the last section is simply read the declaration, check, and submit. So it's a very straightforward process, and I'm happy to see that some of the students have already completed this by themselves. So once that's done, you'll receive an email from the Home Office saying something like, now you've submitted your e-visa application. Please wait until we notify you again when you can access it. So wait about 2 to 3 days, about a week. The Home Office will definitely send you an email to say that now you can see your e-visa because we have approved it. And you can simply click on the link that they send you called View and Proof to access your e-visa on your UKVI account. And at the bottom page of your e-visa detail page, you'll be able to generate a share code for St. Mary's to evidence your right to study, or for your employer for any purpose you see fit. Common question from students: how do I know if my e-visa was approved? Because some students complete the whole process and then wait and wait, and there's nothing from the Home Office. So my suggestion is you simply search your spam folder or your general email inbox for an email called View Your e-visa. View Your e-visa. That is the title of the email that will send you to confirm that now you've got your e-visa approved. Okay, so if that didn't work and you simply just didn't receive that, all you have to do is just to wait, because sometimes it takes them a little bit longer than 48 or 72 hours. Alternatively, a very direct way to prove that your e-visa is approved, just to visit the View and Proof page on gov.uk. You can simply Google View and Proof. The first thing that pops up will probably just be the official page of View and Proof. In View and Proof, it will ask you to sign into your accounts. And if you can sign into your account, see your e-visa avatar, see your student visa granted, start and end date of your student visa, possibly our sponsor license number, that means you're all sorted. You have an e-visa and there's nothing to worry about. So this is where most students are a bit slightly worried and confused about. So very importantly, as soon as you can access your e-visa page, you need to scroll down to the very bottom of the page and generate a share code. That is needed for our online enrollments, which I'll talk about soon, and also the face-to-face ID check with me on campus. You'll be able to action this if your e-visa is approved only. So if your e-visa is still pending, you can't generate a share code. If anyone asks you for a share code, and if you don't have an e-visa yet, you don't have a share code. And also, we recommend that you generate a share code. You can print that as a copy or save that as a photo to your phone when you're crossing the border, because we trust that the Home Office may not have the most up-to-date system, or sometimes they could have a technical issue at the border. So to save yourself some troubles, just to you can have your share code ready, and maybe they can just tap in that share code and see your e-visa status. Yeah, I believe that's all about e-visa. So I'm going to quickly run you through enrollment. So now you've received your visa. Something to mention is, some of you, if your visa is granted before the mid-July this year, 15th of July, you probably have a vignette, a visa sticker inside your passport, which is valid for about 90 days. And that's used for multi-entry, but mainly for when you first enter the UK. If your visa is granted after the 15th of July, you won't have that vignette. So if you don't have that, don't worry, it's very common practice for all. So next week, I think, sometime next week, you'll receive an email from St. Mary's University to ask you to complete your enrollment. So it's very important that you complete your enrollment before you visit me and Chris, my manager, in the student visa team at registry to conduct your ID check. So preferably you do your online enrollment. You can do it from overseas, yes, but preferably we want you to enroll once you arrived in the UK. So the emails looks like this. It says, welcome to St. Mary's. We're hoping that you will join us soon. Please now complete your online enrollment on your student visa, student portal, eVision ASAP. So what you do is you'll set your password, keep that password set, and get back to your account, and then you'll have several sections to complete for your enrollment task. So as I said, have your share code ready for the visa section because you cannot bypass that. If you don't have the share code, you won't be able to proceed to the rest of the tasks, such as finance, modules, selections. So this is what the visa section looks like. We will ask a few questions. They're all very straightforward. The date that you receive your visa. So just check the UKVI decision letter or email. The date that the Home Office sends you that letter or email is the date that you receive your student visa decision. We'll also ask you the arrival date into the UK. So if you haven't arrived in the UK, that can just be your boarding pass, what's shown on your flight ticket. Now, if you have arrived in the UK when you're completing this, you can refer to like a date stamped on your passport. If you have a vignette, that will be stamped on your vignettes. If you don't have a vignette, we believe that the border officer will just stamp that on an empty, a blank page of your passport. So please use that date for your arrival date into the UK. We'll ask you to upload a picture of your boarding pass. Also, please select your student visa as the visa type. And then we will show you the passport details that we have stored on our student record system for you. These details are collated by the admissions team when you're applying for St. Mary's. So it should be correct, but if you spot any errors or you have updated your passport, you renewed it, you will be able to upload a new copy of your passport. Just the personal details page of the passport is fine. You'll be able to upload it and we will receive that and our team will update that on the student record system for you. We will ask for an entry clearance vignette, and this only applies if you have been granted a vignette. If you haven't been granted a vignette because your visa is granted from the 15th of July, that's completely fine. And if you cannot bypass the section, you can simply just upload a blank Word document, something that will probably help you to proceed to the next bit of the task. And we will ask, very importantly, your e-visa share code so we can log on to View and Prove and access your e-visa page. And that is your right to study. Unless we have that, we cannot make you fully current because it's our duty to do that. And so for you to be able to quickly enroll with St. Mary's, you have to have your e-visa share code ready. So after that, I think you will select your modules. You probably go through the finance section. The finance section, I think for PGCE students, if you're receiving bursary, you'll still tick that you're self-funded because you know, university will transfer you the money for living costs and tuition, but we will set up 3 installment, I think. Sorry, don't take my words for it. This is really the fees teams. But what I know from the fees team is that you should tick that you're self-funded. and the system will show you what to do. So now that you complete your enrollment, you will receive an email from St. Mary's to say that thank you for completing your enrollment. We look forward to welcoming you. So, and now it's time to set up your multi-factor authentication. So unless you receive this email, you haven't actually completed your enrollment, and you should do that before you see us at Student Visa Office. So first day on campus. Now, this is what applies to most students. So it might be slightly different, but I think on your welcome day, you'll probably collect your student ID at a security desk, which is just next to the reception at the front of the campus. And check if you received an email from us about completing your ID check. I'm sure that most of you or all of you will receive that email. We will have our welcoming speeches, and I will see you and talk to you about your visa conditions. I think after that, we can collect all of you, and I'll lead you to our student visa office so we can complete the ID check with all of you all at once, so you don't have to come back at another time. So after we verify your ID, collected your share code, taking copies of your passports and vignette if you have it, then the ID check is complete. And we will give you something called the Essential Guide, which covers engagement, attendance percentage, work placements, graduate visa, and other topics such as Schengen visa, no objection letter, and also and we will probably direct you to the library on how to use my SMU app. That's where you'll be able to record your attendance and check your Outlook calendar for timetable, access your student visa, your student email. And also there's information on your visa on our website. So if you don't complete ID check, not to sound threatening, the consequence is that we won't be able to make you fully enrolled. You will remain provisionally enrolled to St. Mary's. So hopefully you all get your e-visa sorted, and on the welcoming day, we'll just be able to complete your ID check, so we don't have to send you email to say, oh, please come back because we haven't done this ID check, and you won't be able to access your Moodle, your timetable, because that wouldn't be fun for you. So hopefully that all works out. But I completely understand that some of you are experiencing this great anxiety waiting for your visa, but know that you're not alone, and there's not much you can do actually, apart from just waiting patiently for the Home Office, because the caseworker, we cannot expedite this process for you. Nobody can. You know, the Home Office is going to take their time if they're just going to take their time. So just wait for your visa and book your flight tickets as soon as you receive your visa. If you already book your flight tickets, see if you can reschedule that as soon as you know your visa outcome. So hopefully that all works out for you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. And I'll stay on the call if there are some questions from you. Thank you.
Okay,
Ruby,
thanks,
there
Ruby.
is
So yeah,
one question in the chat.
Okay,
Sorry,
Gwen?
Greg. There is one question in the chat. Sorry, Ruby. That if you're able to answer, that'd be amazing.
Okay. Please, can the share code be generated multiple times? Yes, it can be. So each share code is valid for 90 days. So, I mean, one share code should be enough. But if you want to generate multiple times, that's up to you. Yes, you can.
Great, thanks, Ruby. So yeah, there's a lot of important information there. Like I said, we are recording this session, so if you need to go back, it'll be uploaded to the website probably sometime early next week. There will be information on the web pages also, and Ruby and her team can be contacted with student visas at stmarys.ac.uk if you've got any questions. But Thanks, Ruby. I think that was really useful to see the walkthrough, what the screens look like and what the students can expect with that. Okay, so just to go into a different part of the presentation now, just the last part here, which will be about settling in and your arrival. So let me just go to the next part of the presentation. Okay, so some things to think about to help you get settled. There'll be lots of information about this on the welcome day, but these are some things which you can only do after you're here. So you can download the My SMU app ahead of time, but really to get full use of that, you need to have completed online enrollment, the enrollment process, which Ruby just mentioned. The My SMU app will be a really good, really useful one-stop shop for your attendance, for your timetabling and regular updates. So if you have that on your phone handy, you've got everything you need there, and it will certainly make the start of your time here a lot smoother. Some things that you can only do once you've arrived is open a bank account. Quite often for this, you need to show various IDs and proof documentation. Part of this can be accessed through your St Mary's portal. You'll get more information about this in your welcome day. But for the most part, you can only open a UK bank account if needed after you arrive and enroll. You'll also need to register with a doctor. Again, you'll get lots of information about this on the welcome day. You may see the term GP, it means general practitioner, and it's a term that we use in the UK for a doctor, for a general doctor. We recommend that you do this as early as possible when you arrive, for quite obvious reasons, just in case you need to use one. And you'll also be able to get what we call a national insurance number. Now, in some countries, this is referred to as similar to a social security number. This is for if you want to work when you're here. So on the student visa, you are eligible to work a certain number of hours. Obviously, student visa is for studying, but it does give you some flexibility for work. You need a national insurance number. This allows you to pay tax. Well, it kind of enables you to pay tax. You must pay tax. It's not a choice. So that can be done once you arrive. And again, we'll give you information on how to do that once you're here. So you've heard a lot about the welcome day. You'll receive more information about this over the next couple of weeks. So it's literally 2 weeks away today. So Wednesday, the 27th of August, we'll all be there. So we'll be able to see you in person. It starts at 9:45 on campus. So we can meet you at the main reception. Then you'll get information on exactly where this is. It's on Maldergrave Road, which is the main entrance to the campus. And a staff member will come and collect you and take you to the main room. So you'll get lots of sessions on general introduction to St Mary's, practical information on well-being, document checks like Ruby mentioned and what to do about that, arrival information such as opening a bank account, registering with a doctor, transport information, and there'll also be some important mandatory sessions from the faculty preparing you for when you go into schools. So as you're aware, very soon after you arrive, you'll be on your first placements. So there's various aspects that we need to prepare you for, safeguarding, for example, and points for you to consider. Some of them cultural about school life in the UK, others are very practical, important points. So you get information about that as well. You'll get to meet key members of staff as well as the faculty, so you get to see us face to face. And this will start your course. So from then on, you will have different timetables depending on which course you're doing. You'll have different induction programs, but this is a day for all of the international PGCE students. So it's actually a very nice day. We all enjoy it. It's a great way for us to meet you, for you to meet your classmates, As you can imagine, it's got a very international feel to it. So I'm sure you'll see some people from your home country, but also lots of other people from across the world. So it's a great way to start your time at university here. But yeah, continue to check your emails. You'll get a series of what we call countdown emails ahead of your arrival, and it will give you more information about this day as well. Okay, so once you are here, so after this arrival day, make sure that you're fully aware of your teaching timetable. You can get, as we mentioned, the SMU app to do this, and you'll also need that to check in, to register for your lectures. This is very important. It's got visa implications. If you don't attend, we need to report your attendance to the UKVI. So it's very, very important that you know your timetable and that you can attend the lectures there. So make sure you're fully aware of where you need to be and when. You'll also get an ID card. Now, this ID card gives you access to different rooms on the campus. You can also charge it with money, charge it with funds to pay for your lunch and coffees, things like that on the campus. If you do have campus accommodation, it also allows you access into that as well. So you'll be able to collect that on your first day. If you want to familiarize yourself with the campus, we have a very beautiful campus. We're very, very lucky. It's a very nice place to work, and for you, a very nice place to study when you've got your sessions here. You can have a look on the website for the virtual tour to get familiar with what's on campus there. Okay, so just some advice that you can start to think about to help with your first few weeks here. Of course, you're here to study, but like you said, there's many students from across the world and many UK students here. So try and think of the other elements as well, which can really help you settle in to a new country. We know it's a very, very big thing that you're taking on, moving to a new country. So also try and enjoy yourself as well. We've got lots of different clubs and societies. We're a very sporty uni if you're into that, but lots of different clubs for you to join to have a good social element. Even if you're not fully feeling it, maybe you're a bit introverted or shy. I know I was when I first went to university, and I had to push myself to join these clubs, but you won't regret it. It's a great way to balance out the academic side of it. We mentioned registering with a doctor. Try and do this as soon as possible, which you'll get information for. We've got lots of study support as well. Now, maybe the way of learning, the way of studying is different to your home country. And importantly, the expectations may differ as well. So what we call the academic integrity with regards to plagiarism, so copying, things like references may be different. So you can start to familiarize yourself with the expectations around that and the support that's available as well. So one very important thing, don't suffer in silence. If you are struggling with your studies, there's lots of support there. And of course, not only are you on a beautiful campus, you're also in one of the greatest cities in the world. There's so much to explore in London. So you can start to think about what to do in your free time as well. So that'll help you just get a bit more excited about moving to the UK. Okay, now we've given you lots of information. You've heard different departments that we've talked about. The most important ones are here. So we know a lot of you have asked about delays and things like that. International admissions need to be aware of this. So as we said in previous sessions, communication is key. So really make sure you contact international admissions at stmarys.ac.uk if there's any queries or delays with that. If you want advice or support with your arrival, like that practical travel advice, international at stmarys.ac.uk can help. Academic questions, you should know your course leads by now, for example, for Anna, so you'll have various contact emails there. Ruby, who just presented to you from the student visa team, if you want to check anything about your e-visas and that process. Accommodation, of course, if you don't have accommodation already, or if you've got questions around that. And there are a few other contact points here as well. And on a bit more individual basis, we have a great team of regional managers here, of which I'm one of them. So if you are from a particular area and you want a bit more of a direct personal connection, you can contact one of us here. So I'm Greg. So if you're based in Africa or the Middle East, I can be your personal point of contact. Bill for the Americas, Underleap for Pakistan and Southeast Asia. This needs to be updated. I'll put Sanal on there for Europe, and also for the rest of South Asia as well. Don't worry if your region, country isn't covered on here. Any of us, we can help you and we can direct you as well. But it's a good way to get a bit of more of a personal touch if you need to. Okay, so I think we've probably covered a lot of the questions, but let me just stop sharing my screen now, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so please just do put any questions in the chat function here. We may just refer you with an email here, and as we said, please just don't give any personal direct information. Okay, Ruby, I can see there are a couple of visa questions here, so if you could just jump in here. So Ruby, after receiving your e-visa, does the Home Office need to confirm the link before you travel?
So after receiving the e-visa, confirm the link. I'm not sure what this is referring to, but once you receive your visa and once you link that to your UPVR accounts, yes, you can travel and you'll be able to, oh, I see what you mean by confirming the link. Yes, so once the Home Office sends you an email saying now your e-visa application is successful, or now we've approved it, or you can see your e-visa and you sign in, you can see your e-visa, just generate a share code and you'll be able to travel. Yeah.
Okay, great. And so I can see that you've replied to some of these questions. So just behind in the chat there slightly. Yes, you'll get the recording. So we'll send you an email early next week with more information and links to various points in the website. So please look out for that early next week. Okay, with that being said, I'd like to thank the team at St Mary's. So thank you to Farana, who had to leave the course late early. Thanks to Ruby, Sitjinder, Gwen and Sanal for supporting today. And thank you all for joining. We're really looking forward to seeing you just in a couple of weeks. So please just get in contact if you do have any other questions. And yeah, thanks for your time today. So we'll stop the recording and we'll end the call now and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.